folks, we've got 3 traders taking on the Blue Guardian Prop Firm Challenge, including myself. You're going to find out how we all got on in the markets last week, coming right up now. Our sponsor, Blue Guardian, is the only prop firm that gives their traders a tool to protect them from hitting their max daily loss and overtrading. It's super simple to use. Just set the Guardian Protector each day from your dashboard. Did you also know that they've just released an unlimited time evaluation with a 0 trading days requirement, giving you plenty of time to hit their low 8 and 4% targets, making it super fast to get funded. Plus, it's cheaper than the 40-day time limit evaluation. Check out the link and coupon in the description to get 10% off your next Blue Guardian evaluation. All right, folks, let's get into my trading update. So I had a couple of weeks break, had to think about what I was going to do with this Blue Guardian challenge and thought, look, I need to go for a higher target on these lower time frames. So it just wasn't really working with the tight stops and the commission. I was going for 1R, which most cases it wasn't ever 1R. Like some cases it was like a really tight stop, less than a couple of pips, and the take profit was a couple of pips away, which ended up being like almost a break even though it was 1R. So I had to look for a longer trade, so a higher R trade. Now you can see here, this is the first day of trading so the first day I tested. The second day, I think this was Tuesday, I traded, missed the fill somewhere up here. I missed an entry by just like a sniper here on a limit order fill, and I missed this big move down, which then had me looking for a next trade, which got me in this one, which was a buy. Just got stopped out. In fact, it probably, there was another 3 pips it went. So would have got my 1R out of that, which I wasn't looking for anyway. So that didn't help. Went the opposite direction. That didn't work either, albeit I now had the right direction. And then I thought, no, I've got the wrong direction. Let's go the other direction. And that was completely wrong. So at that point, I realized I needed to do more back testing on this, because the original back testing I did looked pretty good. So I went back even further over the course of the next few days. Now let's have a look at the next trade. So this was a bit more back testing. I think a slightly different variation of that strategy. So next trade was a loss, and then another loss. Not a good start. So these were both sell trades. Then I had another setup for a long, which actually I played out the whole thing. I didn't take any partials at all, and it ended up being quite a good trade. In fact, it went a little bit further and then came back, but it was 3.5R. This is where the stop loss was. So it was a pretty good trade, and I even held through this stuff because the backtesting showed me that I should get the 3R. Now, I still hadn't done extensive backtesting, and I was trading the Euro US dollar at this point. So that was the London session, this was the London session, that was Asia session. So this didn't go well at all. I don't think I won one trade here. So loss. The next day I had loss. It was just not good. And I think so this one here, that one hit me straight out with a loss. This one here went, I believe it did actually go 1R, and then it came back and got me out. And then this one here actually gave me some kind of profit before stopping me out. I think that was basically 1R as well. So it was like I had the 1R strategy that I was trying to make into a higher time frame. A higher R strategy. It wasn't working. And so I went all the way back to the drawing board. Now, bear in mind, this was FMOC week. So a lot of news happening at this time, so not the best week to trade. So I did go back into back testing, and what I've decided was the lower time frame entries, albeit I was managing to do it and finding time to do it, I'd found something that works on a higher time frame again, which is the same strategy but just on a higher time frame and a different market. So it's gold, which means I don't have the spread issues, the commission issues as much, or not even really at all. So I'm on a 4-hour time frame. It's looking pretty good. I've got a couple of strategies I'm going to put into play. It's going to give me more time to think about the setups and get some partials, get some higher R trades as well, which I don't really need now that I'm moved up the higher time frames. So I'm going to be trading that going forward. And if I can get a few runs on the board, I'll try and increase the risk and get this Blue Guardian account back up. Now, I was at the point where I'm like, look, I've got to break a few eggs here to really make this work. So let's dive into this Blue Guardian account and show you where we got up to. So as I said, break a few eggs. That's what I was thinking across the course of this week. That's where we started it off, and we just lost. We only had one winner. That was it there. And so you can see here, it did bring the account back significantly, but then it just carried on losing now. Had I back tested a bit more on this lower time frame, I think I could have made it work, but I would have had to sit through every session and take every trade, because you can see here like all these fake outs, all these losing trades need to be sort of brought back by the winning trades here. There was a few, like sometimes it wouldn't, the setup wouldn't happen in the session, and I was like, well, do I want to sit through a whole session and not get the setup? So all of this stuff was coming into play here, and I ended up thinking that better off to go in the higher time frame. Oh yeah, I did want to show you one last trade that just sort of put the nail in the coffin for me. Was, where was it? It was on this one, so it might have been on the UJ here. Yeah, it was this here, right? So this was the nail in the coffin. So there was a couple of extra trades here. I did see that little win. So yeah, next set day had a loss. Then, so this one here was actually, I had a opposing setup after entering this one long, had an opposing setup short, had the order in, literally there. It would have got, had it got filled, it would have been a great trade, right? That went 142 pips, and my stop loss was, I think my stop loss was somewhere up here, like 8 or 9 pips. So maybe not even that. It would have been a mammoth trade had I held it, and it didn't happen. So that one there could have even bought the account back. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel, so annoying. So yeah, anyway, that was my week. I feel like even though it was such a terrible week, I do feel like I've made massive improvement, funnily enough, and albeit, am I going to bring this one back massively this coming week? Probably not, because my trade frequency is going to go down. Will I increase the risk? I may do. I may risk 0.5% instead, which is going to give me, because it seems to win quite a bit, which is going to give me like, so if I'm risking 0.5%, I could actually bring that back up somewhere around here in theory, albeit as the week before Christmas, so who knows? Who knows? All right, folks, that's my update for the week. Let's get on to the next trader.
Hey folks, welcome to this week's Blue Guardian trade breakdowns recap video. It was a bit of a slower week. We had heaps of news, heaps of volatility, but it was a bit slow in terms of I was keeping my risk pretty low. I didn't really want to battle the markets too much with high risk. Didn't really trade I traded the prop account, but I was more active on my main account. With all this kind of news going around, didn't want to slip up at all. But I'm going to go through some of the trades we took, and then I'll give you a look at the dashboard afterwards. So the week started, we had heaps of news, beginning with CPI on Tuesday, PPI on Wednesday, FOMC on Wednesday, plenty of interest rates for Swiss, Eurozone, Pound on Thursday. Then we had PMI on Friday. And so a bit of a chop week. So Tuesday we had the CPI in the US session. I can't remember the trades I took on the streams for Monday. So I'm going to go to the ones I took. These were, got a few good ones, a few bad ones. Oh yeah, let me go to NAS. I got chopped up on Tuesday, so let's get the bad ones out of the way first. So Tuesday I was looking for, price had pushed down. This is NAS, this is NYSE. Price had made a high, came back down. This was a CPI. Price pushed down, and I really thought that we were going to, I missed the buys here, unfortunately. I just didn't get a entry. I was really keen for these buys. There was bouncing off of this zone over here. This was my, I took a trade on this one as well, actually, but this was the 4 p.m. candle from Monday's session, and that created like a little resistance here, had a little support, and price came back down. I wasn't sure if it's going to bounce off the Asian low or this little bit of structure over here or this area. I really wanted to dip into underneath to keep on going higher. I was really keen for those buys. Didn't get any sort of liquidity candle entry. If you guys have watched a few of my recaps, you'll start to know what I'm looking for. Just basically a wick that breaks the low but closes higher. That would be the rejection wick for me. Didn't get a single one in any time frame, and I just watched price push and push and push and push. So it's a bit annoying. Then I took a loss. Um, so it was in here. It was on the 3 minute time frame. What I was um, what I was looking for was this kind of candle. I was looking for this kind of candle, but bullish down over here to go long. Didn't get it. Thought price was rejecting this area. Thought price could retest down here again, retest these lows. But it didn't, and I got burnt, battled the bulls and I took the horns. So I got done once. Then price came up, gave me another entry, got done again, and then it was all over. So a bit annoying on those ones. So Tuesday took a hit. Um, then what other ones do we have on NAS? So Wednesday post CPI, I was cooking dinner. Sorry, post FOMC. I was cooking dinner when the interest rates came in. You can see 7 o'clock p.m. It's UK time. Price pushed up, came, filled the highs, kept making new highs, ripped all the way down, all the way down. Missed didn't get an entry up here, but I was a bit distracted anyway. Had buy limits under here, but didn't get triggered, obviously. Price came down, retested. It was looked better on the 5 minute. So on the 5 minute, we had this liquidity rejection candle, this guy here. Price came all the way down, halfway over the wick, entered impulsively because I missed all those other trades because I was waiting for that kind of rejection. So much volume in the market. Took price back up for about 70, 80 pips. Closing it here. Just wasn't sure, but kind of really did continue. But that was my trade. Pretty small risk, given it was trading from my phone, and the size of this, risk reward wasn't great. All right. So then that was FOMC. We had Thursday, did a stream on Thursday. I only traded German on Thursday. And then Friday, today, took a trade late, inside of, where was it? 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock. It's on the 3 minute. So I took a trade, this guy, just before 4 p.m. London close kind of coming in, London close volume. Took an entry, so this kind of rejection candle, had a zone here, really liked it because of the left over here. You can see like where it was dipping into, taking out this this London high and New York high. Dipped into it, gave me that rejection candle. Let me zoom it back in again. Okay, entered as soon as that candle closed. Stop losses above it. Was hoping it was going to get down to this area. This is my opposing level right over here. So I closed 50% when it got down to this around this area. Moved my stops to break even, but my runner got stopped out, unfortunately. Yeah, that would have been. But then I missed this one. This one here would have been a beautiful trade. 5 minute liquidity candle again. So as much as I liked these areas, I'll show you. You can. This is where I was looking. Wasn't looking far enough. This is London high. This is New York high, and this was the area I took the trade from. And if I just zoomed out just a touch more, they would have seen Asian high a bit higher, which got taken. So this was the candle that really just drove price down. It's just the problem when you're trading from, like, I'm always after London Open, unless I'm scheduled to do a New York stream with my boys, or my team, not my team, my students. If uh, if I'm trading from my phone, you miss things. So I'm always using low risk when I take these late entries on the phone. Yeah, but anyway, that would have been a beautiful one to take. Would have loved to have grabbed that one. But, I'm always love looking at price action afterwards. It's super, super important to review your day. Let's go through some of the German trades. There was a couple gold. I took a loss on a gold trade as well, which a bit annoying. Then took a couple wins. Well, let's go back through some of these guys. We can see most of the week. Monday, I was getting pretty annoyed with German because it was just doing nothing. It was just so slow. So kind of just range, 47 pips total, 85 pips, decent volume in this session, but had to sit through. Like that was where I was sort of watching price in this range. Didn't capitalize on any of these moves later on. Then Wednesday came along, more of the same. But then there were some trades taken in here. Just can't remember where they were. Now Thursday, this was a fantastic one. Price very clear where it was going. Thought there'd be bullish momentum following Powell's statement. All-time high, 17,000. Just made a lot of sense for this number. So price, little trend line, little break of the trend line. London Open came in, sweeping this liquidity candle, entered impulsively on this guy, pushed up, took full profit at 17,000. The number should have thought I could have sold. I did say, can probably sell 17,000, get a really nice trade, but I didn't take that. But really nice. And then it got to New York session. Price had really rejected 17,000 hard, spiking down, closing below all the structure. Well, it had a bullish bias until Christine Lagarde came in because this is the day of the euro interest rates, and it came out at 115, and she dropped the hammer that she was pretty hawkish. So I switched my bias quickly to sells. Price closed below this structure over here. We had clean candles to the left. I wasn't sure about this little area, hence why I took my profit at this point. This candle closed nice and convincingly. Took it on the retest, stop losses above, took 40 pips to the downside. Then Friday, today, this was PMI day. This was the slow grind. So I took an entry on here really late in the move. Didn't get quite the pullback I wanted with London Open. But this created like that little resistance. This kind of closed above. Took a little pullback entry just after the French PMI news. Took 10 pips, moved my stops to break even, got tapped out. Price pushed up again after the German PMI, and gave it a second chance. Huge stop loss though, because I wanted to trade away from this wick. And then it was just a grind, sitting through all of this crap until 9:36 after I closed the stream. And then price pushed to target, took full profit, and then that was it. So, yeah, pretty good week. I was pretty happy with German mostly on the most of it. Really like the news as well. It was one of those weeks that you finally got a catalyst. Don't have any Fed speakers for most of it with the blackout. Now they come in, they shake things up afterwards. So that's it. That's the kind of trade breakdowns. Let's have a little look at the dashboard. So it's a real slow. It's a grind. We started the week somewhere down here somewhere, I think. And just keeping risk low. I think that's what I'm going to do. Just keep it low. Focus on just passing the challenge rather than like trying to pass it so super quick. So sitting $900 in profit. So we're about nearly halfway to the target. So hopefully we'll get some good moves coming in soon. Anyway, there you have it. So thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks Trading Nut. Thanks Blue Guardian. All the best guys. Have a great Christmas. See you soon.
All right, folks, here is weekly recap. So I've been mentioning I'm not at my home. I'm kind of in a limbo mode, and so I didn't actually trade that much. I traded only one trade this week, and both because of that and because I'm trying to be more restrictive on how I'm taking trades. So one trade because I was busy, and one trade because I'm trying to. So who knows how many I would have traded if I was, in normal daily life, but I'm not, and so this is where I'm at. One trade, you can see, it's pretty hard to see because of how big my chart is, but it is, no, that's not a very good way to put it. It was a winner. I'm just going to say that. So it was on Wednesday, and it was, for me, with my risk, is about a 3.5 hour, something like that. So I'll go over it real quick. It's on the S&P index. On Wednesday, there was FOMC, I think is what the news event was. So we had this consolidation for quite some time. This is 5-minute chart, by the way. So I saw this move up as it kind of pushed out of consolidation. Then I'll move down, and then I'll move up, and then move down. And so as I'm looking at this, I see this as a raid. You can see I notated it of this little level here before it wanted to move up. And then it moved up, just up, not quite to this level here. So to me, that's a sign of liquidity. It's getting set up. So rather than be super tight on an entry and stop loss and stuff, I used a little bit bigger picture, which paid off, as I'll show you here when I get to the trade on a 1-minute chart here. So it's hard because it gets so big because it expanded so much. There we go. Okay, so you can see this is a move here that I was telling you about, the liquidity zone that I was using as a initial target. The raid down here, there is this 5-minute fair value gap along with a volume imbalance. I actually entered on limit order, which is one of the reasons why I put the stop down quite a bit further. This is the stop level I had used right here, the little flag. So it gave me quite a bit of room past this whole move up. You can see I just have like a 10% of the size of the move, stop loss minimum type thing. And so that plus the spread at the time was down here. And it's just right. You can see it came down a little bit later and got real close. So it sat through some drawdown, got close to stop, but then got to get in on the movement from the news release. I spent a small amount of time being bummed about not, taking it twice as high because it moved up. I had originally set my target actually a little above where this was, but decided not to be greedy because it was a long shot. And so as the price started coming down and slowing down at this little spot here, that was enough for me to get out. I already protected the position down here with about a 1.2 R, and then up here was the rest of it. So I'm thankful for the trade. It was exciting to get, the one trade I took this week and it was a news release, so it could have very easily just stopped out. But back here, I was okay with it stopping out because I had set up all the different levels and things that I wanted to see for the trade. So that part I'm okay with. So yeah, that's my recap for the day or for the week. There's only one trade. I'm going to stick with it. Keep this curl going. Trying to bring the equity up in this account. Get back to net positive and pass the challenge. So that's all I got. Thanks, Cam.
Folks, Black Bull Markets have 10 merch packs to give away to clients who sign up before the end of the year, including one of these trader keys. So to go in the draw, all you need to do is sign up with the link below this video or in the podcast description, and you'll go in the draw to win. It's that simple. And remember, folks, when you sign up to Black Bull Markets through the Trading Nut link below, you're going to get a 100% deposit bonus up to $1,000 on your first deposit. All you need to do is click the link in the description below the video or the podcast.